What's good, you guys? Daniel Cruz here, back with another episode of Cook with Cruz. You already know, another Sunday, another breakdown, and today I'm gonna be breaking down a new beat that I actually just made this week. It came out stupid fire. I really like this one, so I'm excited to hear you guys' feedback on this beat. So be sure to hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think of this beat. Wire down in the comments as well if there's any beats of mine you want to see me break down. Just let me know and I'll definitely make an episode on that. And I'm sure you already know the drill already, but please leave a thumbs up before we jump into the video here. It really helps out the series. And of course, make sure you're subscribed with the bell turned on so you don't miss out on these episodes every single Sunday. So without further ado, let's jump in, see what this beat sounds like. All right, so today's sample and inspiration brought to us by Oscar Zulu and Stupid Lou. Let's go ahead and play that sample now and just see what sparked everything here. So right there, that is all I needed to hear, and I was already vibing to this. I'm already hearing the bounce, the vibe, everything I want to do. This is my kind of melody that I like to work with. But anyways, let's play a little bit more so you can get a better feel of the vibe here. So that's what we're going to be working with. This one's definitely going to come out pretty nice. So for this one specifically, we did not have the files, but that's okay. We're just going to chop up the sections separately here. So that's what I went and did. If you can see in the playlist here, all this is pretty much the sample. Just kind of separated them so I can visually see what's what, as well as this one down here. But as far as what we're doing to the sample, I pitched it up 100 cents, so we're up one semitone on the key, so we're in a little higher pitch. Not a huge difference, but I did drop the tempo by 1 BPM essentially, from 102 to 101. I was originally working in 100 because that's a solid BPM to work with, but I did like kind of the faster tempo, so just brought it up to 101. And into our mixer for the sample here, we just threw on some EQ, everything below 100 cuts, and then it looks like about 7,500 cut above that, with a small dip right here at about 1,500. So that right there gave me the tone that I wanted for the melodies here. Just gonna help the mix sit a little better. And so for our intro, we're just gonna take one part of the sample here. So I'll go ahead and play that so we can also hear what it sounds like pitched up and everything with the EQ. So there it is right there, nothing too drastic. Just want to remember that the initial sample when I first heard it really gave me that inspiration, and I don't want to stray too far away from that. And then now moving on to the next section of the beat, this is pretty much pre-hook, or the first part of the hook right here. So being we're on the same level here, it's going to be the same exact sample as our intro. And for our downbeat, I'm going to throw in this kind of vocal sample chop texture thing. Just gonna add a nice touch to everything. Nothing too crazy, but sounds dope. So I'm gonna start with some drums here to get a rhythm going. And I really wanted a big emphasis on being open for the hook. So let's go over the drums and see what we have so far for this section. We'll start with a very basic clap here. This is a small percussive instrument that's going to play just before our second clap. This is a low kind of deep crash. And we have an open hat. So altogether, this is our very basic format of the drums. So that, in combination with the melody, this is what it's going to sound like. So there, we're already starting to build up the beat here, sounding pretty nice. And now for our next section, this is where I wanted the hook to be. So right here, we do have a new section of the sample. This one's going to have like a dark sounding violin playing in the background, which I thought was really dope. So let's take a listen to what that sounds like real quick. So yeah, we're going to use that for the hook, and we are going to further develop our drums here. So in addition to what we already have, we are going to add a close tab right here. As you can see, very empty, very open here, just a couple hits. Also going to throw in this very light percussive loop here. This right here is just going to add like some nice background textures for the drums. What I did for it too, I did throw in some reverb onto the loop here, as well as a little bit of delay. So here's what it sounds like. So that's going to sit in the background. It's going to be a nice touch to the drums. And last but not least, we got a deep 808 here that's going to hit pretty hard. So we got a full 8-bar pattern here. This is the general vibe of the 808. So as you can see, we're not going too crazy with it, really maintaining the openness of the beat. So let's run it back. Let's see how the drums sound soloed out now. So this should sit well with our melodies here. Let's run it back and see how we're going to drop into this main hook section. I also don't want to forget to mention this clip right here, a small transition effect that's just going to be a nice touch leading up to our drop. So here's what all this sounds like now. So that right there is our entire hook section. Sounds pretty dope so far. So now let's move on to the verses, where I do a couple different things here. So we're going to bring back our main chop here from the sample. This is the one without the violin, just a little lighter. And for our drums as well, we have a different close tap pattern. As you can see, we're just in a basic 2-step pattern with a small little roll here at the end. We're also going to take out our percussive loop here to kind of open the beat up again for the verse. And we're doing this because we have the 2-step hi-hat, so it might sound a little too much if we have our percussive delay here with our 2-step hi-hat. So want to keep it simple for the ear, so we're going to take out the percussive loop here while we have the 2-step going. So let's transition into the verse now and see how that's going to sound. So everything's sounding pretty clean. And the second half of the verse is where we're going to switch up just a little bit here. So looking down here, this is our same sample, just dropped down a whole octave. It really kind of thins out the frequency range here, so it kind of opens the beat up a little bit more. It's a nice change up. In addition to that, we are taking out the 2-step hi-hat, so we're going back to more like 808 and clap, but we are bringing back our percussive loop here to sit in the background. And then for the last 4 bars of the verse, we will bring in the 2-step again. So let's hear how the second half of this verse sounds. So there it is. That is a pretty nice switch up there. And that is pretty much the beat. So as soon as we get done with that verse there, we're going to jump back into our pre-hook / hook. We're going back to a lot of openness, no drums except like the clap, little percussive loop here, and then we'll drop with the 808 here. So once again, we'll take a listen. Let's see how we transfer from verse into the hook now. And just like that, that is the beat. Did our jobs today, kept it nice and simple. I think it came out pretty fire. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know how the beat sounds. I always appreciate you guys' feedback. Make sure to let me know what you want to see me break down next. While you're down there in the comments, I'll definitely make an episode on that. If you haven't already, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, bell turned on. I'll be back next Sunday. Really helps the series keep going. Other than that, I appreciate you for making it to the end of this video. But that is all for me today. See you guys next week. I'm out. Peace.